Hey there guys and girls. I'm going to do a quick set of how to navigate videos for the TGW people. Well, I know there are other videos up that cover this stuff. It's a question that keeps coming up amongst the group, so I figured I would cover it. So we're going to start with the F16 and then I'll probably do the Viper and the A10 and the F14. Seems they're aircraft that I know fairly well. Now, the Viper's a big one that people are starting to want to enter waypoints in and navigate properly with and all that fun stuff. So, how do we do it? Well, first off, we're going to need a set of coordinates, and for that, of course, we need to come into a map. We're on the training server so we can see everything. But the Viper wants the coordinates in decimal degrees, minutes, and seconds. So this up here at the moment is in degrees, minutes, seconds, which is wrong. So we're going to hit Alt Y. We're going to hit Alt Y again, and we get it in degrees, minutes, and seconds up here. So with that said, we're just going to quickly plot out a quick set of waypoints, and we're going to save the data to some place where I can quickly access it, which is this little handy kneeboard, which you can get from mods and the like. So basically, what we're going to do is we're here at Cobbletti at the moment. We're going to make a jaunt up over here to Katuzi. So we're going to note Katuzi's coordinates, which is 4210 decimal 655 east of 4228.871 and an alt of 148 feet. Then from Katuzi we're going to come across to Sanaki here, and again looking up over here where the coordinates are, we're going to go north 42, 14.443, east 42, 02.872, and it's 43 feet. And our final one is going to be to set us up for coming back home, which is going to be over here, roughly right there. So our final coordinate is going to be just here. So north 4154.487, east of 4143.371, and the feet aren't going to matter. So we've got our coordinates. How do we go about entering them? Well, we switch back here. We're going to drag this up and over the side so it's up and out of the way. Now, if we look, currently we have steer points here, our radios here, our up-front controller here, and our HSD here. We also have down between our legs. If I quickly unpause for my track IR for a second, you will notice that we also have our horizontal situation, or a HSI, ADI, whatever you want to call it, your horizontal navigational instruments down here. So what we want to do is we actually want to find a waypoint, steer point that's empty. So we're going to tap 4, and we can see steer point 1 has information, steer point 2 has information, steer point 3 however is empty. So with steer point 3 being the first one that's empty here, we're going to come down with the dobber switch just here to the lat, and then we're going to start entering our latitude coordinates. We're going to enter 2 for the north, which you can see just in the corner here, 4210,655. Now, if for any reason you don't have this out to 3, you've only got it out to 1, or you've only got it out to 2, you just fill in the rest with zeros. Then we're going to double down to our easting coordinate, and you'll notice the easting's wanting 100, tens, and then our decimal hundreds. So, and you need to remember that. So we're going to do easting, and we're going to put 0, 4, 2, 2, 8, 8, 7, 1, enter. Boom. And it's just put in the coordinate for us, out over here. And we're just going to enter the feet, which is 148, enter. And then that's coordinate done. We could do our time on station, which, you know, I don't think is actually modelled in DCS at the moment for the Viper, so we're thing, but you'd take it in Zulu time, I believe, from memory. We're going to dobber up to waypoint 4, and we're going to repeat the process. So 43 feet east, 0, 4, 2, 0, 2, 8, 7, 2, enter, up, north, 4, 2, 5, 4. That's wrong. See, went to enter the wrong coordinate there. So we type we hit the RCL, and that'll clear it out. We're going to go north, 4202, 872, enter. And then our final steer point here is going to be north 4154, 487, enter. East 0414337 enter. This gives us our rough set. I've messed up a coordinate, and I can see I've messed up a coordinate, but no, actually, no, I haven't. I keep forgetting that I already had one here. It's fine. So if we dobber through now, waypoint 2, waypoint 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which would bring us back home. And if we actually wanted home, so we've got 2 ways of getting home. Let's say, you know, for some reason I don't have access to home plate for whatever reason. I can come in here. Now I've got the coordinates here, so in the kneeboard that I need for home. So we can basically pull any of these and just use that. Or we could pull the threshold for 07. So we're going to go and do that. I'm going to enter north 4155640. Enter. Double down east 0 4150975. Enter, and the altitude at this point is going to be 59 feet. And you can see with that our little course here. So if we go 3, 4, 5, and if we bring the range down like so. So there's your basic navigation entry. the next one we're going to cover is TACAN. So if we look at this, we have a TACAN here and channel 67 X-ray, and we also have a tanker up on 2 X-ray and 4 X-ray. If we check the briefing and have a look, we can see that right here, 2 X-ray just here. So how do we use that? Well, it's fairly simple. We tap 1 and we get our ILS information here. What this is telling us is that we're in TACAN receive mode at the moment. We're on channel 1 X-ray. Our ILS is on frequency 108.10 and it's on a course of 0. This is pointless to us in this format. We will use it shortly, but at the moment it's, yeah. What we want to do is we want to come down here, and if we hit 2, say we wanted to go to that tanker, we put 2x in, then we hit the sequence button down here, and each time we do, you'll notice that the TACAN mode changes. So it's just changed to transmit and receive. It's now in air-to-air mode. It's giving us a beacon. We can hear the beacon, and if we come down here and we tap the M until it says TACAN, we can see that we're 23.1 nautical miles away. The tanker is currently out on 030. But we want to actually put in the TACAN for Cobbletti, which is going to be transmit and receive on channel 67. And we can see we're now getting the beacon for Cobbletti. Again, we've got up-to-date information down here, 02 nautical miles, because the beacon's basically directly across the apron from us. And the final one we're going to do here is we actually are going to set up our ILS. We're also going to turn that TACAN off. So before we do anything, let's turn that TACAN's beeping off. So for that, we look over here, and we find the TACAN knob, and we just turn it all the way down. We're also going to turn the ILS down here as well. We're going to come back. We're going to look at our kneeboard. And it's like, okay, well, we want an ILS approach. Does any of this have an ILS? If we look, we can see that I believe it's 07 has an ILS on 11. Yep. So if we look here, ILS is on 111.5. So we double down to here, frequency 111.50, enter, and the course is going to be this course here. So 64, enter. The other thing we're going to do is bring our course line down here into a line with that, and I'll explain this in a minute. So this is for some basic airmanship stuff. For the moment though, we're going to set this back to nav. We're going to normally we'd mention that we're taxiing. And all that fun stuff. We do that just in case you're not aware. So Cobbletti is 133. So we go com 133.000, enter. Double check that we are correct. Yep, yeah. Cobaleti traffic, Viper 11 is taxiing for the threshold runway 07, Cobaleti traffic. Now the winds are actually, we're going to be taking off with small tailwind, but it's okay. We want the ILS for when we come back. I'm going to make certain we're in nav mode. For some reason I was in air to ground mode. Cobaleti traffic, Viper 11 is lining up departing runway 07. Now normally I'd do a whole bunch of checks, make certain that everything is 100% correct, that my seat's armed and all that. I am actually ignoring a bunch of those checks at the moment. I do not normally recommend that you do that. 140, rotate, positive right, gear coming up. Check that the gear is up, good. Accelerate for 350. I'm not in burners, I'm using Milpel. Or actually I may be in burners on the Viper. And we're clean anyway, so let's look at this sexy jet for a second. Okay, so we're going to track to steer point 4. And what you'll notice here is we have the tadpole. So the tadpole is this little item just here, and it's telling us where we need to go. So for steer point 4, it's telling us that we need to come this way, but we actually want steer point 3. Tadpole moves, and if we come over, fly the velocity vector with the tadpole, we're flying towards our target, our nav point. Navigation 101. The other thing we can do is we can actually make certain we're coming in on a set course if we wanted to by using the course knob down here, but we can see that we're 21 nautical miles out, and we can cross-check that just here on the B. So it's telling us that we're 21 nautical miles out, 20 now, and we should be there in about 2 minutes. We're not going to actually fly all the way out there. We could, but we're not going to. We're going to switch to waypoint 4. You'll notice, it's now telling us that we're 5 nautical miles out. The tadpole's moved, and if we look down here, the arrow is now pointing off over in this direction, which is where the airfield is. Or at least our waypoint is. Seems you can never be certain if I've actually entered the data 100% certain. I did those waypoints rather quickly. And from here we're going to track out to waypoint 5. So, yep, there's the airfield just there. So for this part we're actually going to do a tack-in approach rather than a standard approach. So I am actually going to capture the track IR like this, zoom this out just a little bit, though we'll probably zoom in at some point here. So for the tack-in approach here, we want to be able to come in on the correct radial. Now, if we look at this, it says we want to be on a 164 DME radial to join 064. And we want to be at 7.3 nautical miles. So how do we do that? Well, we use the TACAN. First off, we double check that we're correct. Then we come down here, we hit the M, we hit the M again, and then if we just quickly set this in the two modes that are going to make certain we don't fall out of the sky, if we look down here, this allows us to change our course, like I showed before. So we want this to be a course of 169, I believe it was. (164). And what this is showing us at the moment is that we're actually already well past that radial. So we are going to come back around and we're going to join this radial properly. We're at 10 nautical miles, so let's turn the waypoints off, turn that off. We're going to drop down, and does this chart tell us any information about altitude? Nope. Only that it's only to be used during visible operations. We're going to come idle. I'm going to swing round. Now the big one is that we are still getting our navigation information here from our nav source, which is our steer points. So anything on the HUD is from the steer points. We need to rely on this for guiding us in for the actual join. Okay, there's 6,000 feet. Don't want to really get any lower than 3. So we're going to come around. We're currently 15 nautical miles out, and we can see that by looking there. Our altimeter is probably out slightly as well. And I mean, we can actually get our altimeter information. So we're going to tie in 2991. I believe he actually gave us Q and E, which isn't what I prefer, but it'll do. And I've messed this up. So this should be, and I'll admit it, so we should actually be on the 303 radial. Which would explain why nothing seems to be adding up. This is why you always cross-check your charts and keep an eye on your altitude, people. Okay, 303, and we want 7.3 DME. And then we want to turn to 164. So bring this around to 1.6, keep an eye outside at the same time. Don't want to plough into the ground, that'd be rather embarrassing. So there's 164. Bring ourselves down for on speed. Now the other one we're going to have to do is dial this back to 064 once we make this radial. So we can see this needle should start dropping down. There we go. So we're now joining the radial. We're going to turn to here. And we need to dial this around to 064. Okay, so there's that. We're going to dirty ourselves up. And we're going to hit this here. So this is going to tell it that we want the ILS with the TAC can. And you'll notice we have our ILS needles on our HUD now. We have our C bracket, and we are very low, which is a no-no. So we actually want to... Let's get ourselves back up to proper height. There we go. So we're on speed. We've got a little bit of speed breakout to give us some drag. I'm going to start the turn towards to capture the glide slope localizer. We're actually still a little out. And we're fast now, so we're going to drop this down, and for some reason our ILS isn't capturing properly. Oh well, we'll visual landing it. I've probably missed a step on turning the ILS on, so I believe it should have been on. We want the 3-degree mark just there. And thereabouts, a little bit of power. And flare as we go idle. A little hard, but that's the basics of navigation. And how you can navigate without relying on the F10 map, full stop. So hopefully this video helps some people. Sorry, the ILS part there seems to be a little foobarred. I'm obviously messing something up. I can swear everything's correct though. So who knows? Thanks for watching. I will catch you later on.